Hey guys, it's Will here coming at you with the first update video in this trial. Again, warning down below for the art you might see and stuff in these videos. But yeah, so we're here sitting at the first week of the painting challenge. So for those who may have not seen the original video, I recommend checking that up here or in the description below if I remember it. So the idea behind it is I am painting up about 2,000 points of bolt action in 40 days. And it is currently, the idea is not how fast can I paint it, how good can I paint it. It's more, can somebody who might have not a lot of time on their hand or maybe might be a little bit afraid to do, you know, something that's daunting. Maybe they bought their first starter box or something and, you know, or maybe they don't really have, you know, that historical knowledge to paint things. Can they just paint and do this, you know, every couple hours a day? And how far can you get with that? So it's more of a marathon than a sprint for this. Other channels have done something similar like this, where they've tried to paint up to a bunch of points or a whole army in an afternoon or in other days and stuff. So there's those. If you're more into that sort of thing, a challenge, I highly recommend checking out those videos. This is not going to be one of those, but it is going to be a lot of fun, and there's going to be a lot of painted models. So with that, we're going to get into this actual part of the video where I'll show you my progress and tell you what's going to be next. So we'll see you guys on the bench. Hey guys, so we're here at the actual model side of looking at what I've done in the last week. So let's just quickly get into that. This is the desk view. Ooh, only hands. But anyways, let's see what we got here. So starting off, the first big project I wanted to do was my Flak 88. So we're going to take a look at that. These haven't been sealed yet, so these are still bare metal and plastics. So if you're building this yourself, or you buy the starter box for the Afrika Korps, the models for your weapon teams and your flak crew are going to be metal. Unless you make a magnetic system for the base that holds the gun to the stand, you're going to probably have to glue it just because it's side heavy and it'll just fall off. So I just glued mine down because, you know, it's a rotating platform. I can just kind of imagine it spins around, and if it doesn't get a turret jam because it's, you know, a weapon, it's a gun. So yeah, so looking at that, starting off here, this is a 8-man crew, I believe. 8 or 7, but it's them and him. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's a 7-man crew. 2 dudes on one base, but it's a 7-man with the gun here. And we're going to take a closer look. So as you can see here, we have the 2 dudes kind of carrying extra ammo. We have random hype man, and we have the guns sergeant. So the theme of this army is going off of 1942. So Rommel, whatever, was getting pushed back. Can I make this thing focus? Can it focus? That is the question. Here it is. All its glory. On. And the gun does move up and down on this one, which is important because, not really important, but it's a cool little feature because it can, you know, be an artillery piece if needed to. But there's the gun on that. Next off to that is we have a squad of Germans, a little 4-man here that I have been working on kind of on the side. So we have these sort of guys here. Gear. You might notice some paint issues, or maybe stuff's kind of got spillover. Again, these aren't supposed to be perfect. They're not supposed to be really edge highlighted and stuff. They're just supposed to be, you know, tabletop standard. And I'd say these guys kind of are. They're pretty decent. They didn't take me too long to paint. Just base paints, washes, and then some dry brushing or edge highlighting to bring something that's supposed to be bright up to being bright again. And then next off we have is, so these guys are next. The guys I just showed you, I'm going to be going to go seal after this video, after recording this. But these dudes here are my Italians. So I'm kind of switching between Italians and Germans, kind of spice it up, you know, and don't lose interest. But here we have are some of my Bizzilgari. I'm sorry, there's some I'll get into this stuff, but a little closing message about things. But I am really bad at languages. My mouth is very, you know, American-ish, I guess. So it's hard for me to say words, mouth sore and stuff after the whole mouth surgery stuff. So it's really hard for me to pronounce words. So I'm really sorry for that. Please just, you know, deal with it, or, you know, not like, ooh, fuck you, deal with it, but it's more like, you know, please be patient. I have a wootism, but of the mouth. But here we go. So yeah, so just basic color stuff. Again, looked up colorings. So this would be a historically inspired color scheme. Again, there's going to be more added to these just because this is the base layer. I'm going to add a little bit of yellow on here for the gold effect, but apparently this was a uniform color choice that was used by them during 42. It should be a more leathery color looking shirt, I believe, and then the tan colored hat. But the gray pants and gaiters, I'll just call them, and brown leather boots. The black, it's supposed to be a lighter grayish color for the ammo belts and stuff is accurate. I'm not too sure about the backpack that holds the LMG parts, but, and of course the black floofy hair. And on dudes with helmets, this is supposed to be like a metallic black, which I didn't have one at the time. So I tried going over it. If you guys want to do it yourself and you don't have a metallic black, maybe you just have, you know, a Stormhouse silver or a lead belcher-esque or a gunmetal. Gunmetal, depending on your company, could work. But what I did was I painted the helmet metal with a bright silver, and I went over it with a semi-transparent black. And you can just keep adding layers to it after it dries to get more darker that you want, but it does work to act as a sort of metallic black color. But I just decided, meh, and I'm going to try non-metallic metal on this, like a simple one. So I just painted the same color as the pants, but it still does have that metallic shine underneath it. So in person, it does have a bit of a shine under the light. So that's those guys. And lastly, the last thing I worked on, double wording. We have my Sevavente and 14 something. So I can't remember. But, so here it is, just like the troops. This has been based and decaled, depending on where you live. Painted the road wheels metal, because once I'm done washing, I'm going to do some chipping, reverse chipping. So I'm going to add the paint back on it and make it look like it's been worn. The treads have been coated with bronze and black. Again, I'm going to be in there with weathering with the silver and stuff. This whole area is going to get like chipped up from the desert. Same with some of the front here. We have the Commander in there with its colors. Of course, the guy inside is painted. The inside was sprayed white with an airbrush and then is going to get sprayed with a wash. Even painted the dude and the inside there. And then, of course, the inside here, because you can kind of see it if you look through the hole. And markings on there. So that's it, guys. This has been the first update of the first one. So guys, this has been the update of the first week. These are the models in their current stages. So we're going to go finish by sealing these guys. And we're going to finish today off with washing and finishing this squad and the tank off. And of course, make sure if you guys want to follow along and do this, I will have on Twitter pictures of the progress of each day. Again, only spending 2 to 3 hours a day or less to do this with the hashtag BoltAction40. The B and the A are capitalized, all one word. So with that, we'll see you guys in the closing of this video. So guys, with that, this has been the update of this week's progress. Again, if you guys want to follow along with this, make sure to subscribe down below and use the hashtag BoltAction40 on Twitter or on YouTube to kind of keep a look at these. I gotta get better with YouTube of actually putting the hashtag into the title of the video, but I will be doing it on Twitter also. Or if you guys want to follow along and do it with me, do your own for how many set days you want to set for yourself. Make sure to also check the video that the first video of this challenge, which will be in the playlist that this video is in. I'll have the playlist also pop up at the end of the video, so you guys can click it so you guys can see the rules, which will be in the description of that video. And yeah, it's going to be fun. This is just casual fun. For those who may not know what I've been referencing about this challenge, what army I am, if you haven't seen the, obvious signs there, is boom. It is the Afrika Korps from Warlord Games for Bolt Action. We're going to be doing it set in 42. The falling of their empire, basically. They're starting to lose their steam and getting pushed back by the British, and which the Americans should be showing up very soon. But yeah, so it's going to be a lot of fun with that, with some Italians splashed in. So, yeah. If not, this is going to be some bonus content here. Coming at you, here to answer your questions and stuff. I've built up a lot of your comments, and we're here to answer it. Just before we kind of get into this, I want to start off with letting you guys know that I do have a condition that makes it a little bit harder for me to read social cues and to type out or speak my mind. So I'm doing this for fun, kind of answering things, having some fun with the channel since we're at where we're at. Such a, 250 people following me. That's great. It's awesome. And answering questions and stuff, and kind of maybe voice my opinion on things. So starting off here with the first one in my notification, I have for my Rampart Wolverine tank. I did have somebody say something. So a lot of people saying it proxy is pretty close to the Chimera. A lot of them thinking it's sweet. Thank you, Shadow Tiger, for saying that I brought this up for you. I'm happy that it helps. Hi, I'm Envy. Seeing that you like this more than the Yorogel Dorn tank, that's nice. It does have a floor, so you got that. Now, I did have criticism on this, which is fair. Voiced my thought how I said Rampart. You are correct. That is right criticism. I misread the box the entire time. As I make these, I'm kind of in different states of tired or what I've done through the day. I kind of just take these one parts. I don't really have a script. I don't try to redo them over and over again. So in my head, I was reading it as Rampant, not as Rampart, as you were saying. Thank you for bringing that up. I did fix the video title for that, and I'll call it for that for now on. Going on to our next video, which had some comments, which was the one where Calm first guest starred with me, which was the mystery box video. Somebody basically just saying that, because I made a statement in that video that the box seemed to be themed. He is correct. Kind of, it seemed to think, he kind of listed stuff like, oh, it's a theme. You're correct in that. It just seemed a lot of the boxes are random, so maybe somebody else's box's theme was different, but it seemed like for me, my box was kind of like desert North Africa themed, because it had the 8th Army dudes in it. It had a Stuart in it. It had the Italian campaign books in it. So it kind of seemed a lot of the models that were kind of themed together, the big money ones that you're actually paying for, was North Africa themed, and that's why I said that. But you are right, it is. I did really like that box. It was a great box. I would recommend, if you guys have the money to split with friends and you kind of are a general overall Warlord Games fan, to pick it up. But it is definitely not going to be a box to get started in a game, in a specific game, or if you only play one game from them, you might not be really interested in it. Now here's a big one. Not big as in bad, but like big as in this person's typed a lot of stuff, and I am very grateful for this. I do not claim to be a historian. I am a fanboy of history. So I may, and again, conditions and stuff, I may mix up history from time to time, or what I can remember on the fly from books mostly, or what I've heard from maybe the chieftain or whatever Iada, whatever his name is. You did quote some stuff about history of Alamein. So you were saying the Panzer IV with the long barrel was a new thing about the first battle of Alamein. So that's where I've been in. In response to me making the light, yes, because this was in response to me making the light brigade, you know, basically the modern day for them, the modern day German infantry unit squad with the 2 LMGs, the Schützen squads, the light detachment. He basically came in and stated what the correct stuff would have been, what you would have seen at that time. This was Bodkin. Thank you so much for calling this stuff out. And I do agree with you that I would actually like to make this list to be more historically accurate with it. And thank you for telling me the timelines of what guns should have been on that tank. I am just going off what is in the book for the game and what models I have. So that's kind of the difference, but I totally agree with you. I would like to see this. And maybe in the future I'll actually make a proper list using your stuff. And again, how you say, again, me butchering, Bersailleri. He says the G is silent. So again, thank you so much for understanding, and thank you for telling me the proper pronunciation of the word. You're a real G. And I hope to see you more on videos. Please tell me more about it. You were very kind with how you explained things. You weren't, being mean about it. I like that. We need more guys like you in the chat, which a lot of you guys are. A lot of you guys who watch these are awesome. And I don't really have a name for you guys, what to call you. I'm not trying to be a YouTube channel. I'm just a dude here who is, just a loner building models and stuff. So I appreciate you. The Shadow Hunter saying, hope to see all you guys together soon. Yeah, I'm excited to see it too. Thank you for coming on this journey, George, on my video from my starting on my cadets video. Again, if you guys haven't seen that series, I'm starting to do a sort of intro guide into wargaming. Not really like what do you get or how do you play, how do you do the rules. That might be videos that I do in the series, but the main premise is what is a war game and how do you get into just all the generic ones. But we'll be using Bolt Action from time to time as our reference to start, but we'll also be doing other things with, Games Workshop and other games. But basically just how does one do wargaming? And we'll go over squad tactics and other rules and etiquettes, and painting, things like that, playing a game. And we'll cover a bunch of broad different topics in it. So keep an eye on that. Okay. With that, guys, thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you for checking out my channel. We will see you guys in the next one. If you guys have any questions or concerns or, topics you want to talk about or just discourse about stuff, please message down below in the chat comments. Be respectful for each other. We're all just kind of people interested in this sort of hobby and coasting along with it and doing cool stuff and chilling. So with that, we will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye. Click the video. Click it. Click the video. You know you want to. Click it.